Ever heard about the kid who said, "Teacher, I don't need English. I'm not going to England"? You see, when kids start learning English as a second language, they're not just tackling a new set of grammar rules or a different alphabet. They're embarking on a journey of linguistic gymnastics, cultural exploration, and a fair share of comical missteps. Take, for instance, the little boy who could never quite distinguish between kitchen and chicken. His mother was quite surprised when he asked if the chicken was ready for dinner. Or consider the girl who, after learning idioms, started to worry that she might actually turn into a Smurf because she told her friend, "I feel blue." These humorous anecdotes shed light on the unique challenges our young language learners face. But remember, it's through these delightful blunders that they gradually grasp the nuances of the language. And that, dear friends, is why we don't send kids to England to learn English. So, how do we stop our classrooms from turning into a zoo, you ask? Well, here's a hint. It doesn't involve a whip and a chair. Now, you might remember Mr. Johnson, the science teacher who found himself in the middle of a spontaneous paper airplane contest. Instead of scolding his students, he turned it into a lesson on aerodynamics. Suddenly, those paper planes were no longer just projectiles of mischief, but tools for learning about lift, drag, and gravity. And who knew that paper could fly so well when it's not being passed as a secret note? Then there's Miss Smith, the English teacher, who solved the problem of latecomers with a dash of creativity. Instead of a stern lecture, late students were greeted with a challenge: perform a silly dance before taking their seats. Not only did this lighten the mood, but it also provided a quirky incentive for punctuality. After all, who wants to do the chicken dance in front of their peers at 8 in the morning? But let's not forget the importance of setting clear expectations and maintaining consistency. Imagine your classroom as a stage. You, the teacher, are the director, and your students are the actors. A well-rehearsed play doesn't just happen. It requires guidance, practice, and clear instructions. And just like a director, you need to set the scene, cue the actors, and maintain the flow. And of course, there's the magic of positive reinforcement. Remember Sally, the quiet one who always sat at the back? When she finally raised her hand to answer a question, a simple, "Well done, Sally," worked wonders. It didn't just encourage Sally, it sent a clear message to the rest of the class. Participation is valued and rewarded. So, in the grand scheme of things, it's not about wielding a ruler like a lion tamer. It's about turning those moments of chaos into opportunities for learning. It's about guiding the energy of your students and channeling it into something constructive. Remember, it's not about taming the wild beasts, but about guiding them to use their energy in constructive ways. Now, if you've made it this far without running off to join the circus, congratulations. You might just have what it takes to manage a classroom. So let's put it all together, shall we? Classroom management for kids learning English as a second language. It's like herding cats. You know, those adorable, fluffy creatures that are as unpredictable as the weather. One minute they're purring, and the next they're scaling the curtains. Just like our little linguists, am I right? You've got one student who's mastered the art of the silent meow, refusing to utter a single syllable of English. And then there's the kitty who's captivated by their own tail, or in our case, their native language, and can't seem to focus on the new sounds and structures of English. But don't fret, my fellow feline wranglers. Remember, patience is your best tool, and a good laser pointer. Or In our context, engaging activities and visual aids. And let's not forget, it's also like directing a choir of enthusiastic yet tone-deaf singers. You've got your belters who shout out every answer even when they're wrong, your whispers who have the right answers but are too shy to share, and your divas who refuse to participate unless they're in the spotlight. But just like a skilled conductor, you'll guide your chorus with a steady hand, balancing the loud and the quiet, the bold and the meek. You'll bring out the best in each one, turning their discordant notes into a harmonious symphony of language learning. So there you have it. Classroom management for ESL kids. A feline rodeo meets choir practice. It's not always perfect, but it's never a dull moment. Embrace the chaos, enjoy the music, and keep those kitties, students, engaged and learning. And remember, if all else fails, just pretend you're hosting a talk show. At least you'll be the one with the microphone.